Question number 1, $4,200,000. Question number 2, $20,500,000. Question number 3, $20,500,000. You may be seated. I think for the record, I'm going to ask the staff to prepare final judgment signature for juries, and then we don't trust our juries. That's true. And I'm sure the judgment will properly reflect the law of the state of Texas and the court.
Mason! It's so nice to meet you today. I'm sorry you haven't been feeling well since insurance denied your meds. Mason, do you just want to feel better? I want people watching this to really understand what's happening with insurance and Mason. Can you describe it from your perspective?
Can I describe it? Yeah, it's terrible. So
Don't curse.
I will not curse. Try not to.
I can do the little beeps if you do.
That's fine. That's fine. That might work.
Get him ready.
So Mason has a lot of complications from his transplant. He has graft versus host disease, which plays a role in all of his organs. So he has high blood pressure as a result of that. So he's been on the same blood pressure regimen for 8 years. Okay, doing great. Blood pressures have been great. We wouldn't actually normally check them because they were so good. We just check them when we went to the doctor.
And he was doing well. He didn't have
He
to
was
go to
doing really well. We'd
appointments very
actually
often either.
gone about 9 months with no doctor appointments.
Yeah.
So
which
is-
was the first time ever for him.
yeah. And then in January, they decided they were no longer going to cover one of his blood pressure medications. So I immediately start working with our doctors in Cincinnati, which are the prescribing doctors, and they're working. Everything kept getting denied. We sent appeals, prior authorizations, all the things that you're supposed to send. They still kept saying no, but they didn't have an alternative therapy.
This past setback has kind of hit the reset button. So now he pretty much stays on the couch and plays here.
He went about 2 weeks without his medication before we saw any big issues. And they thought maybe since he'd been on it so long that he might do okay just off of it, which is why we were monitoring. And then one day he took a turn for the worse and we had to go to the local emergency room.
That's when he was sleeping all day long. He would be talking and just fall asleep. So we knew something was wrong.
So his energy decreased right after insurance stopped covering a medicine?
Yeah, well, it was harder for him to breathe, harder for him to get around, so he just stopped doing it. Couldn't stay awake. He would be talking to you and then just fall asleep. That's those CO2 levels being off.
What is it like to witness that as the father?
Very frustrating. It's tough. You try to stay positive, try to stay busy, try to make sure that he has stuff that he needs to keep him distracted.
Who's your favorite Ninja Turtle? Raph. And Mikey. Who'd you dress up like for Halloween? Raph.
That's probably one of the biggest problems right now is his lungs. Because you do like to get up and play. You just don't have the energy anymore. Is that right? He was asking to be carried everywhere. Yeah, and not a lot of energy to do very many things. I used to chase him around the house, and that's no.
Mason, have you been extra tired the past few months? What's it like to be extra tired? Do you like it or dislike it?
Thumbs down or up? Down.
Do you want your energy back? And I think the most maddening thing is that Mason's just an 11-year-old who wants to play with his toys and have a good time, and he's struggling to get the meds he needs that will allow him to do that, when you know they work.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we said, he didn't go to appointments for 9 months. He was doing great, and then denied this one medication, and now they just came back from staying in Cincinnati for pretty much a month.
Yeah.
At the Ronald McDonald House?
Yeah.
He had to get his BiPAP all set up because his CO2 levels were down, and something needed to change.
Well, and he had to restart
BiPAP.
steroids, which he'd
Yep.
been off for a lot of years.
And
it caused him, now he has, he's diabetic and has glaucoma
he has
from the steroids.
steroid-induced diabetes.
And all of these things happened
It
after?
happened after the blood pressure medication.
If you have a healthy family, you don't really think about, healthcare that much. Because, I know I came from a family that we were hardly ever in the hospital, except for maybe physicals for sports or something. I didn't think about healthcare until I had a kid that has, medical problems. Now, both kids medical problems. So I'm sure that just the general community doesn't know how important it is to kids like Mason.
What is the most important thing for the world to understand about